Listen to me carefully. Before you let this season name you, before you let this exhaustion convince you that you are losing, before you call this heaviness failure, I need you to hear something your fear has tried to keep from you. You did not come this far to break here. After all the nights you survived when nobody knew how close you were to giving up, after all the disappointments that could have made you bitter but somehow made you deeper, after all the silent prayers whispered through tears, after every season where you walked through uncertainty, carrying more than anyone realized, this is not where your story falls apart. No, this may be where something in you rises. Because what if what you are calling pressure is not destruction at all? What if it is preparation? What if the weight you feel is not life crushing you, but life stretching you into a capacity you have never had before? Because every greater version of you requires greater room inside you. And capacity is not formed in comfort. It is forged under pressure. It is built in resistance. It is shaped in the seasons people often try to escape. And maybe this is one of those seasons. Maybe what feels heavy is holy. Maybe what feels painful is producing power. Maybe what feels like breaking is becoming. Sit with that. Because becoming rarely feels glamorous while it is happening. It feels uncertain. It feels messy. It feels like old identities dying. It feels like outgrowing ways of thinking that once kept you safe. And maybe part of what hurts is not only what life has done to you, but what life is asking you to release. Old fear, old smallness, old narratives of limitation. Because maybe you cannot enter what is next carrying everything old. Maybe some things have to fall away so greater things can rise. And maybe that is what this season has been doing. Not punishing you, preparing you. I need you to stop speaking over your life as if you are collapsing. You are not collapsing. You are expanding. You are someone who kept showing up when quitting would have made sense. Someone who kept breathing when grief sat on the chest. Someone who kept hoping even in fragments. That is not weakness. That is evidence. Evidence of resilience. Evidence of soul. Evidence that something powerful has been living in you all along. And maybe today you need to remember who you are beneath exhaustion. Not who pain told you you were. Not who disappointment made you fear you had become. But who struggle revealed you to be. Stronger than fear predicted. Deeper than wounds defined. More enduring than you have given yourself credit for. Because if hardship was meant to destroy you, you would not still be here. But you are. And that means something undefeated in you has survived. Honor that. Because maybe heaven calls strength what you have been calling survival. Maybe heaven calls endurance what you have been calling barely making it. Maybe heaven sees royalty where you see weariness. And maybe today you borrow heaven's vision. Because you did not come this far to break here. You came this far to rise here. To discover something in you that can only be discovered at the edge of what feels impossible. And maybe, just maybe, this edge is not where you fall. It is where you fly. There comes a moment in life when a person stops asking why everything has been so hard and starts asking what has all of this been building in me. That question can change a life. Because victims stay trapped asking why forever. Builders ask what now. And maybe today is the day you become a builder again. Because maybe life has hit you hard enough that you forgot you were still becoming. But you are. Let me remind you, fire has not only burned things away in you, it has forged things in you. Pressure has not only weighed on you, it has strengthened muscles in your spirit that comfort never could. You do not discover endurance in easy seasons. You discover it in storms. You do not discover depth in applause. You discover it in silence. You do not discover who you are when nothing shakes. You discover identity when life does shake and something in you remains standing. And maybe something in you has remained standing all along. Even now, even through exhaustion, even through confusion. And maybe you have underestimated that. Maybe you have spent so much time focusing on what hurt you that you have overlooked what survived in you. But what survived in you matters. There is fire in you. There is fight in you. There is faith in you. There is future in you. And no season of hardship has managed to erase that. Maybe obscure it for a while, but not erase it. Because destiny survives dark seasons. Calling survives storms. Identity survives pain. And maybe what you need today is not more motivation, but remembrance. Remember who you are. Remember what you've already made it through. Remember that every battle you thought would end you actually became part of what built you. Powerful thought. Because when pain becomes formation instead of only tragedy, everything shifts. Suddenly scars become proof. Proof you can carry more. Proof you bend without breaking. Proof your soul can survive shaking. And maybe that changes how you see this season. Not random suffering. Formation. Not meaningless resistance. Training. Not punishment. Preparation. Because steel is forged in fire. And perhaps so are people called to carry much. Maybe like you. Maybe what feels like resistance has been strength training. Maybe what feels like delay has been positioning. Maybe what feels like losing has secretly been pruning for greater fruit. And if that is true, then perhaps you are not behind at all. Perhaps you are right where becoming happens. And maybe your next chapter begins when you stop identifying with what wounded you and start identifying with what survived in you. Because wounds are part of story. They are not identity. Survival is not identity either. Becoming is. And maybe you are becoming someone far stronger, wiser, and freer than you can yet imagine. And if so, then this season, however hard, is not your burial. It is your forging. Stop calling yourself late. Stop calling your life behind. Stop speaking over your future as if somehow the best has already passed you by. Who taught you that lie? Pain, comparison, delay, disappointment? Those are poor prophets. They speak from wounds, not truth. Because your story is not late. It is unfolding. And unfolding things often look incomplete before they look beautiful. Seeds look buried before they look alive. Roots grow in hidden darkness before anyone sees fruit. Remember that. Maybe you are not buried by this season at all. Maybe you are planted in it. That changes everything. Because buried things are finished. Planted things are beginning. And maybe what you have mistaken as being stuck has been root work, hidden work, sacred work. The kind nobody applauds because nobody sees it. But it matters. Because what grows deep lasts long. And maybe depth is what life has been building in you. Not punishment, depth. Strength that can endure. Peace that is not fragile. Identity that is not dependent on applause. And maybe all of that has been forming beneath the surface while you judged yourself for not moving fast enough. But what if slower has been wiser? What if waiting has been strengthening? What if silence has been teaching you to hear what noise kept drowning out? Because sometimes heaven grows people underground before bringing them into open fields. And perhaps you have been in that hidden growth. And hidden does not mean forgotten. It means being formed away from premature exposure. That is protection. Maybe delay has been protection. Maybe closed doors have been redirection. Maybe the pause has been positioning. Because what if timing has not betrayed you, but served you? What if what feels late is actually exact? Because maybe what is coming needed a stronger you to carry it. Maybe blessings that last require roots first. Maybe promises mature people before they arrive. And maybe you are in that maturing. If so, then this season is not empty. It is full of invisible construction, full of holy architecture, full of becoming. And maybe you are far closer to breakthrough than fear has allowed you to believe. Closer to peace, closer to clarity, closer to the life you keep wondering if you missed. Maybe you didn't miss it. Maybe you are growing into it. And that is different, beautifully different. So stop calling yourself late. You are not late. You are becoming. Hear me clearly. The version of you on the other side of this season will thank you for not quitting here. One day you will look back at this chapter, the very chapter you almost gave up in, and call it the place where you discovered your strength. Not borrowed strength, your own. Because storms reveal identity. And maybe this storm has too. Maybe it showed you you can endure what fear once told you would destroy you. Maybe it showed you your spirit can bend without breaking. Maybe it showed you faith can survive dark nights. Do not call that small. That is power. Quiet power. Sacred power. And maybe you have underestimated what has already been built in you. Stop doing that. Honor what survived. Honor what pain failed to kill. Honor the resilience forged in silence. Because there is something holy about honoring survival without letting it be your final identity. Because you are not merely someone who survived. You are someone becoming. And perhaps becoming requires honoring the road behind while refusing to live there. Because too many people spend their lives bowing to old pain as if it still defines their limits. But what if it doesn't? What if what wounded you deepened you instead? What if what shook you rooted you deeper? What if every storm enlarged your capacity? Because maybe this season has not been evidence life is against you. Maybe it has been evidence life is preparing you for more peace, more purpose, more weight of calling. And maybe the reason things have felt intense is because what is coming carries significance. Big things often have deep preparation. And perhaps you are in deep preparation. If so, honor it. Honor the invisible strength built in nights nobody witnessed. Honor the courage it took to keep going. Honor the person pain could not reduce. Because when you